22. Hey!
Hello there.
Hi, what's going on? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna lock the door. Be right back, y'all.
Ooh, a bitch is tired. Tired and sick. And sick of being tired.
Okay. Thank you. I'll call you back.
Notice that Epic is not prepared as usual.
No, bitch, I'm prepared. I was letting my sister out because she's taking care of my child. But I'm here. Hey, y'all. How y'all
I
doing?
didn't even know you was pregnant.
Baby, you know I've been carrying this baby weight now for what?
30 years?
40-something years, something like that. You know what I mean? Bitch,
Not always. I saw you your freshman year of college looking all slim, slim thick.
well, I mean, I'm just saying that was then, but then then it went up, then it went down, then because I had a couple miscarriages and things, and I had some other little kids. I done birthed a couple babies or whatever. So my child done went on, and he's roller skating now. So it is what it is. But we good. We good. So hey, kittens, what's going on? I have some exciting news to tell you all.
Oh, well, tell us all your exciting news.
Well, no. You go first. I'll just talk amongst yourself.
I honestly don't have a lot of exciting news, so
Oh, well, that stinks. Okay, well, hold on.
No, I mean my weekend was low key, and I was very happy about that.
Oh, that's right. You all had a This was a relationship weekend. Is that what this was? I'm gonna say relationship.
Necessarily, we just had a quiet weekend.
Okay.
So,
hold on 1 second.
Again, as I stated, Epic is not ready.
A bitch is ready because I'm still here on camera. I'm trying to do something, so I'm coming back in a second. I see my living room is a little messy right now, so give me a break.
Sure, Jan. So this weekend went to a cute little winery in Virginia and had a couple of flights of wine and a charcuterie board. Well, it wasn't even a charcuterie board. It was a charcuterie styrofoam plate.
But it was really good, though.
Yeah, it was. We had a good old time, so that was lovely. And that was about it. This was a low-key weekend. I feel like I have been ripping and running and moving and a shaking and a popping and pop lock and dropping it, for the past several weeks.
So
I did my gay service this month by participating in Pride in DC, as well as going to what is essentially Leather Pride in New York. So, I've done my gay duty for the month.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's about it. And then today I had to go up to Philadelphia. So I got up at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, that time exists?
Hmm?
That time exists?
It does. I was unaware that it existed, but apparently that time on the clock exists, and I was up at it. And then I got dressed and got on the train and thought I was going to have a lovely, little nap on the train. But my body was like, are we on a train?
Right. She was a little concerned.
Right. And my body was like, You know all that chia seeds you've been eating for the past couple of days for fiber? And I'm
Oh,
like, yeah. Well, now is the time.
ooh.
I was like, we couldn't have done this before we left the house.
Of course not.
No.
You got
So
to
we're
get up
gonna do
and move a little bit.
so
Yeah,
we're gonna do this right now.
right. On
So
the
you
train while
guys,
you rocking, doing all this on
right.
the train.
So I mean, it wasn't like I was in there forever, but that definitely was my moment. And then so
Did you
after
do a
that,
cellar or was it just a regular train?
you're funny.
You said there's something else other than a cellar. I don't understand. Like
I
what?
mean, I'm an employee now, not a contractor. So that means I only ride the regular train if some of my team members who are still contractors, give me the long faces like, oh, we can't ride the train together. And I'm like, no, bye.
Oh my god.
I'll
So
be
how long?
home and look, I'll be home and in bed while you're still in Baltimore.
Jesus. What time did you? How long is the ride up on the cellar? Is it just an hour or is it a
It's
little
an
bit longer?
hour and a half, and it's about a good 2 hours on the peasant train,
Okay, not the peasant train. Um,
also known as a Northeast Regional. But they're both lovely, and you should ride them, according to do that because that affects my money. So
gotcha,
please
gotcha,
make that
gotcha.
happen. So yeah, so I am tired. I did get a new my new watch came.
Yay.
So I mean, child, she looks exactly like the old one. It's a newer model, but she looks exactly the same. So there we go.
Okay.
So that is done, and oh, excuse me. The slave friend is going to be with his mama
Okay.
this weekend, so I am going to have a lovely weekend of doing nothing. Now I am going to make a chicken and sausage cassoulet as well as an orange upside down cake.
What is
So,
the chicken and sausage cassoulet?
oh, I'm sorry. That's right. You're from Pittsburgh.
I no, I'm from
Oh,
Philadelphia. We
same
we
difference.
just have steak and potatoes and steak sandwiches and cheesesteaks. That's all we.
It's a white bean casserole. So
Oh,
it's
I'm
like
out.
it's delicious though.
I'm out.
Don't be such a negative Nancy.
I can't help it. I grew up on just steak sandwiches. I'm out.
Oh well. If you don't have any of the white bean casserole, then you can't have any of the orange upside down cake.
I mean, I can make a orange upside down cake. I just don't want to wash the dishes. I don't want to do that either.
So anyway, that was my weekend and my plans for the next couple of days. Uh, what's your news?
So I would like to take this time to introduce to the fans. And wait a minute, before I say anything else, I didn't say hello to everybody. I see Eccentric and Miss Sugar Snap, and I see
Hi,
Kevin, and I see
hi,
Desmond and Lola.
hi.
Y'all are here. So hi, and
Lola's doing good. This is like the second or third week in a row. She's here right at the top.
right, right. Desmond is actually on vacation, and so I'm hoping that he is continuing to enjoy his vacation because I know it's about to slow down for him a little bit, or like, well, not slow down, but he's coming to the end. But I want to take this time to introduce you all because I had birthed a child, and I want to introduce you all to my new child, my new baby, my fur baby. Her name is Clark. Say hi to people, Clark. There's she. There we go, right there. Right there. Say hi to the people. Her name is Clark, and she is almost 11 weeks old. And she is my fur baby. And she has been driving me absolutely insane since she's been here. She wakes
Mhm.
up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then she's sitting on my chest like, hey, I'm ready to play. And I'm like, hey, go play. It's that simple. Go play. But She has been keeping me company. She has been sleeping with me, on me, near me, under me. I go to the bathroom. Today was the first, we had our first poop today. She came into the bathroom with me while I was, doing my thing. And she looked at me and she was like, hey, what are you doing? So, yes, I want to welcome her to the family and the reason that I was actually chitty chatting with someone, because they were here, was I have my good sis El Boogie or Laura. She was here, and she's going to be checking on my child, while I am at this work conference. So I
Oh,
didn't.
that's right. You're leaving in the morning, right?
Yes, I'm leaving in the morning, and of course, I'm not packed, which is fine because I'm very Christy Turlington that thing together because I've already washed my clothes. That's the biggest part right there, washing your clothes. That's the biggest part.
Right.
But I'm a Christy Turlington that thing up into this suitcase. I'm flying on Southwest. By the way, I need to check in. I forgot about that, so I'm already going to be in the damn C section.
What time is your flight?
12:45. I'm already in the C section at this
point. Oh yeah, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and listen,
so you're gonna be on the plane. That's all you can be.
Yeah, like I don't listen. Just let me be. And listen. Let me tell you what I'm getting ready to do. I'm gonna use all of my bigness. Like, oh, is that my seat right there in the middle between the two of you? Okay, so I'm gonna just squeeze in between you all. Thank you. Okay.
Is it a direct flight?
Yes, it is a direct flight. So I will be there, and then I get to go check in that afternoon. I'll get there about. I think I said I get there about 3 something.
Yeah.
And so 3 something.
Yes.
Same time. And so when I get there, I'll go right to the work stuff, do that. I'm excited because I get to go hang out with, Crypto, and he's coming to hang out. And so I haven't seen him in a minute. We've been chitty chatting and all that good stuff. So I get to hang out with him. He's going to hang out with me on Friday night and Saturday night. And then I come back, and I'll be ready to go back to work. So,
woohoo!
Yeah, yay! I'm excited. But we have so the thing is, we have a 9 o'clock. What you say, Century? Do not abandon my baby. You
listen.
will
Epic finally, right? Epic finally got him some pussy. So, we're gonna be happy for him.
This is the 4th one. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We know we all know you love black pussy.
Well, I mean, and she actually isn't really black. She's actually more of a very chocolate brown. That's really what she is. But I mean, that's just I'm just saying.
Okay, girl, sure.
You have to see her in the light. She has she's a little mocha chocolate.
Oh, Tyra just came in and said, tell them you have a broken foot and ask if you can pre-board. Works every time. So I guess all you got to do is put a cast on or something.
So yeah, I was gonna say, Bougie, am I supposed to put a cast on? Like, what are you doing? Like, how do I do that?
One of those little flexible casts. You don't have to.
Do I even wait? You know what? I know exactly what she's at, what you're talking about, and I had one because I've already jacked up my ankle several times. But of course, over the years, you're like, throw this shit away. I don't need this shit. I don't need it anymore. And I surely would have wrapped that around my ankle, put that thing, and got on that plane with it. But it's all right. It's okay. I'll get there. I ain't even gonna get stressed out about that. I'll get there when the fuck I get there. I got my headphones. I got my iTunes. I got my music. I got my. We good. We good. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But like I said, I'm gonna use all of this bigness to get on somebody's nerve, and they're gonna be like, "You want to switch seats? Sure."
There's no amount of nerve because I would have, because listen. It wouldn't surprise you to know that if I'm flying Southwest, which is usually, I look at whenever it's 24 hours ahead of time, and I have an alarm that goes off 1 minute before that time. So then I am poised and in front. I have it pulled up on my phone so I can check in right at that time.
So the funny thing is, I remembered that I'm going, but I forgot about checking in early. And literally when I remembered, it was when I was leaving the barbershop. So I was like, I'm already 5 hours late. So it's like, okay, it's not make a difference. I'll get there. I'm already in C-section any damn way. And I've never.
You be the very last bitch on the plane.
Right. I very much have. I think I've gotten in the A section once or twice ever on
Mm-hmm.
Southwest. Every time it's a good selection for me, it's usually in the B section, but I'm usually always in the high B's or the low C's. So,
Oh, I'm always in the A's, and if I don't get in the A's, I have a real funky attitude.
well, I mean, and the thing is, they said that you can pay for it, and this is work, so they're already tight with everything going on. I had to literally call and ask them if they paid my registration fee. Let me tell you.
The Black Degree Factory didn't give you a corporate credit card.
Let me tell you something. The Black Degree. So that was how it was years ago when I was there before. You had your choice of Amex,
Mm-hmm.
Diners Card, or Amex or Diners Card. And if you did your own, you just had to turn in all your receipts and everything, which is what you do anyway if you have any extra expenses. But I opted for the Diners Club. So I was like, okay, well, if we're gonna be traveling, I'm like, all right, I'll get this Diners Club. Even with the credit cards, we cannot schedule our flights nor our hotels. We have to go through the travel agency. Well, she gave me points. I'm getting points for it, but that's about it. But no credit card because we can't do it. Even with the credit card, we still can't book it ourselves. It would be so much easier if we could. But people, my predecessors, not specifically in my job or this position, but just at the Black Degree Factory, have abused said credit card properties and everything else. And so I get it. I understand why, but it's annoying because even the director of our department, literally did not find out what his flight was until about 4:00 today.
How is that even possible? I thought y'all was booking through the travel agent.
You have to send the information to get it approved through our the accounts payable.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's approved, then you call the travel agency and make the arrangements. He didn't get that information back saying it was approved for him to go until earlier today.
Gotcha.
Listen, my shit was submitted at the end of May, beginning of June. And I even sent that friendly reminder. I was like, hey, just send you a quick email to make sure that this stuff is taken care of. So I don't leave until the 29th, but if you can let me know, it'd be great. And then she responded back saying, oh, once this is approved, I'll get right on it. Okay, well, it was approved maybe the 12th, 13th, something like that. And then I went and booked my stuff. So I sent another email like, hey, just want to make sure that the registration is taken care of. And even sent them a nice little invoice, a copy of it to say, hey, there it is. You know where you send it and know what to pay. As of today, when I got on the phone, I was like, let me go ahead and call the lady with the big purse. Hey, did you all pay for my registration fee? It's like, well, she's out of the office. Oh, well, it's tomorrow. Well, I'll call her. You do that. You let me know. So I got her on the phone. She called me back. She's on vacation. And she said, I'm going to do this now. She said, but if I, at this moment, she said she wasn't next to her laptop. She said she'll do a little bit later when she got back to her laptop. And I was like, okay, fine. Listen, I already
shit like that annoys me. Not that you're taking vacation, right? But y'all got shit set up that only one bitch in the whole organization can take care of stuff. And even so, even if that is just normally the case, don't you have backup? Because what happens like this when, shit needs to happen? So everything is supposed to stop when you go out of town? Ciao.
Listen, all I know is, let me tell you what's going to happen. If I roll up into these parts and they tell me, did we get your registration fee? You know what? You did not. It's okay, baby. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back upstairs in my room, change my clothes, and I'm going to go see San Diego because I'm not going to play with y'all. I'm not getting ready to pay the $700 to come and attend this thing and have them to reimburse me. I'm not doing that. That's never going to happen. I'm not doing it. You had the stuff in enough time. I'm just not doing it. So I'm going to go see San Diego. So if you tell me I can't see do the conference, I'm going to go see San Diego. I'm ready to do what I got because I'm not. I've never been. I want to go down to the pier. I want to try to get wasn't Three's Company filmed in San Diego?
I think so.
Was that San Diego? So I can do my thing where I stand on the side and I lift my leg up like the new roommate and be like, I'm a giraffe. I'm a giraffe. So I'm gonna do that, and yeah, me and Crypto and I, we're getting ready to hang out, and we're getting ready to do a whole bunch of stuff if I'm not, taken care of. So it's cool. Like I'm good. I already know what my plan is.
Right.
So that's what it is. And a couple other friends I used to work with are going to be there. And we were just talking about that earlier. So, that's going to happen. But I do have a question for you as well as for all the super fans. So, as you know, well, I'm coming up on a year being at the Black Degree Factory. And so I've been trying to stay in my place. And I think you and I have talked about this in a couple different scenarios. But when you're the new person in the office, you give your opinion, but you still try to hold back. You don't really want to give them everything. Like they're getting
Booty Girl says, "Go to the eager beaver."
Right?
Exactly.
It's like they get dominion, but they get the bare minimum dominion, but they don't get the dominion. You know what I mean? So it's like, and so that's where we've been. I've been trying to stay in my place, which is I am not the director. I am underneath the director, and that's where I'm at. So I'm not making any final decisions. That's your call. That's not me. So when you make those decisions, I'll give you my input if you ask for it, but I'm not doing much of anything else because I'm trying not to upset the apple cart.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, not today. This week we've had a whole bunch of stuff going on with my staff where they basically wasn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so now it's a rush because we have the new class coming in and all this stuff. So of course they're complaining about, we don't have the training, we don't have this, we don't have that. And I was like, this was all documented that we did this whole training back in April, and all the notes and everything that was here, the person that did it, the information that went out, the handbook, and the recording was sent to everybody. So I know you all have it. But anyway, I had to reset that up again and have a refresher. And I specifically said to them, do me a favor. It would be much more productive if you come with examples of the stuff that you said you need training on, or the questions that you have about specific files, so that way we can go through and do this, and that way you have all the information that you need because we need to get this stuff done. Of course, none of them came through with any questions. It's like, y'all, Gary pissed me off, but they had lots of complaints. Fine. I'm going to say this on this show. While I love working hybrid and working remotely, that's not good for my staff. They are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I'm a little pissed off because now that means that, well, not mean, I'm not advocating for them to do any more teleworking if this is how you continue to work. I'm not doing this because when this ends, maybe this is going to end. I'm not doing this again because I've put this schedule together. Stuff has been changed. I've had to do, alterations to the schedule because this person wants to switch with that person and blah, blah, blah. Listen, it's you're doing scheduling for people.
Yeah, telework is a privilege, and if you aren't getting your work done, then you need to have your ass in the office every day. Then,
and that's where we are. So, and for me, I'm like, okay, Lola, yeah, we are. But I'll talk if you want to talk about that offline. We can have a conversation. Yes. So we shall see how this is going to roll. But I'm not advocating for this at all. But we are. This week has just been interesting, and I forgot where I was going with this because I was coming up to a point, but it just.
Yeah, you had said you had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, thank you. With all that going on, I've not given 100% of myself, meaning how I feel about stuff. Today, after this meeting, my boss got me on the phone. He was like, what do you think? And I was like, listen, I've been here for damn near a year now. I was like, so I'm not going to bite my tongue. Some of my staff should not be here. There's about 2 of them that if they need to go. The fact that they didn't come prepared for this meeting irritated the shit out of me. They're wasting my time. They're wasting their time. I've cleared their schedule so they can be here. They had appointments. I've seen appointments all day long. Like, I'm clearing their schedule because I wanted to make sure no one had any issues with being here at this training to say I wasn't here, I wasn't paying attention, nothing. And so I'm saying all this to my boss, and I was just like, you know what? I said, I apologize if I'm being too transparent, but listen, I'm not signing on for them to do telework, and if they can't do what the fuck they're being paid to do, that's a problem. And they're being paid very well for this entry level position. They're being paid very well, and I'm like, that's what we're doing. And I'm trying to be a friendly person. I'm trying to be, get to know the people and find out who they are, and oh, yeah, kids, okay, great, and oh, how's your mom, and how's this, and all. I don't really give a fuck about that anymore. I'm just like, did you do your work? Did you send me your daily task report, your daily list of what you did daily? I need the daily report. I need to. Did you send it? Because the day is over. So did you send it? Because I start off the morning with, good morning, team. Did you all send your reports? Because I only have 2, and so like this is where we are. Like I'm now having to go down this road. And so my conversation, I told my boss, I said, when we get to the conference, you and I need to sit down over a cocktail because I want to have a conversation between Epic and the man so that we can talk.
Is this the homosexual?
No.
Okay.
I just want to have a conversation so that we can talk about, listen, I'm here to do the best job that I can do. We have been having some issues. I'm trying to understand, is this something that I'm doing? What am I missing? Something I did not do? Like, I'm trying to make this into a teaching moment for myself and a learning. Like, I'm trying to figure all this out because I'm not trying to do this thing where I'm changing jobs, but because I'm trying to do this 10 years or maybe 15 years and be out. Like, I want to, like, I'm good. I just want to stay where I'm at. Like, I just want to do this and keep it moving. So that's the type of conversation that I'm going to have with him. And I started having some of that with him on the call today. And he was just laughing. He was like, yeah, we will definitely talk. And I'm like, okay, well, great. So do you think that it's too early to have that type of transparent conversation and be upfront with people? Because I'm going to be very upfront with him.
No, that's a day one conversation. If you're the boss.
You mean with him, with me?
You talking about with your staff or with your boss?
With my boss.
No, it's not too early to have that because he hired you to manage this sort of thing. Right. And it's actually, I'm not saying you've done anything wrong per se, but in my opinion, if you are not managing these girls, then, and, things aren't going, shit rolls uphill before it rolls downhill.
Absolutely. And that's my concern.
He's going to look at you. He's going to look at you as like, what is the problem with your staff? So you need to make sure that you, the two of you, are aligned on a strategy. But if you need to take a hard line with the kids, take a hard line. Like, do they each have written performance management plans? And I don't mean performance improvement plans, but do they each have a specific list of job duties and things and expectations and what defines good performance for all of the areas that are their critical job duties? Then meet with these kids on a monthly basis and be like, listen,
right,
because we supposed to turn in this daily report, and out of 20 business days this month, you only turned it in 10 days. So, you at 50%.
Right. That is, so the conversation about, we have these one-on-ones with them, and I'm being very transparent with them. I'm being very clear with them about what they need, and I'm writing this information down and sending it to them. But now I'm, my whole thing, because of this issue, I'm getting ready to change that around and just be like, listen, these, like you just said, these are all your tasks and duties. These are all the things that you are assigned to do. Do you understand that these are all the things you're supposed to be doing? And if these are not done on a consistent basis, that, this will lead to disciplinary action. And I'm saying it that way now, but I'm like, but if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, we don't have space for you. We need to find somebody that can do this work. I also know that we are pivoting. I also know that things have been changing, and none of that is necessarily our fault. But again, at the end of the day, it's still our job.
Right.
So that's the part that I now need to have with them. And so their one-on-ones are actually coming up for July. And I actually, and I'm so glad it's coming up for July, because I'm surely getting ready to change that thing all the way around and be like, listen, this is where we are. This is what we're talking about. These are all your specific roles. These are all your specific duties. What are you following the schedule? Because I have a schedule for you that you make up. Like, what are we doing? Like, because if you understand this and you're able to do all this, that's great. If there's some problem,
we're still having an issue.
Yeah, if there's some problem, tell me what the problem is, and I can try to fix that for you. But let me also say that, yes, they have a ton of shit that they're doing. I get it. But I'm also doing 2 jobs as well. So it's like, all right, I'm not necessarily saying misery loves company, but my whole point is we are all being pulled in 18 different directions. Not to mention, I'm managing the 6 of you who all have 6 different personalities and all have 6 different issues and all have, you know what I mean? Like,
listen, we all have multiple priorities, and we have to do that. Prioritize.
Right.
So understand what's going to happen and communicate. Like, listen, Mr. Epic, I know I needed to get these 10 things done today, but I had to prioritize because it's only 8 hours a day and you hoes don't pay overtime. So these are the things that I'm going to get done today. And then if you say these are the out of the 10 things, I'm going to get these 6 things done today, then you better damn well get those 6 things done today. So you have to establish and ride a firm line. And I know you don't want to be maybe the rough person, but yeah, now it's time to do that. If you're going to take away telework, I would at least be like, listen, y'all fucking up. Things are not happening the way it happens. We got a month to get this shit together, or we're going to have to reconsider telework.
Right. Well,
and by reconsider telework means it's going to end on, July 30th.
Telework ends July 17th. Because it becomes a busy time for us. Once the busy time is over, which is when we get into the middle of September, that was the ideal time to start it up again. I am not starting this telework up for them again. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. You all can't, when you're in the office, you're not necessarily, in my opinion, doing all the things you're doing. So when we went home, it was like, we had these conversations. We talked about all the things that were going on. I understood, had that conversation about telework being a privilege and not necessarily a right. And we talked about all these things. Like, they still ask you stupid questions of like, well, I can't come in today. Can I telework from home? No, we're not doing teleworking, because at the time it's like, that's not yes, y'all did it during COVID, but that's not, we're in the office. Like, we're not doing that. So, and then I try to be nice to people because I know one person in particular, they don't have any more time. They have a young son that's in elementary school, so they need to have time off to do whatever. So I try to, volunteer so she can earn some comp days. I don't really give a fuck about that no more. Like, that's not my issue. That's your issue. If you can't budget your time, or you know that your son is going to be off and you know what the schedule is, then baby, you need to plan that accordingly. And you need to not be sick or not take off unnecessarily because you have a child. That's your priority. So again, it goes back to priorities. And so I've gotten to this point where I'm getting pissed off because, like you said, you're looking at me. And the thing that I don't like at this particular point is, it's not just the office, it's the upper management. And I'm like,
right,
hold up. Like, I don't need to be on the lips of the president. I don't need to be on the lips of, like, that don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need my staff to be in that area. So I'm a little annoyed, but I've already gotten to this point where it's like, let me just click off. I don't really care about what else I got going on. Good morning and hi. Did you turn your report? Okay, what's your question? What do you need? I don't want to have any more conversation with you all, because I feel like that's my issue. I want to have conversation. I don't really care about them. I don't want to have conversation. I want to come and do my work and go home. That's where I'm at. And so that's just what my MO is going to be going forward, because you don't know how to deal with the nice part. So it's whatever.
Yeah.
But that conversation will be had, and we will be talking about a lot of things. And I'm going to be talking about some very specific stuff. And, that's where we are. So if the liquor's flowing, and I know my boss, because I've seen him get a little tipsy.
Right.
But I'm going to try to ease some stuff in there, because I'm still, going to look out for me. But I'm going to ease some stuff in there and figure out what we can do. But I'm not signing on for the telework thing. I loved it for myself. I think it was great. But listen, it takes me probably 15 minutes to get to where I need to get to, back and forth. I'm good. I'll figure it out. I'm not pressed. I don't really care.
It's always, everyone now feels like, oh, well, I don't really feel like coming. Can I telework? And I'm like, part of me is sure. I mean, because I manage this stuff a little differently, but a part of me is like, if this was 2019, you'd have to take your PTO or just not get paid that day. So I don't know what to tell you.
And that's my thing. They're like, well, I want to leave a little bit early. Okay, did you put your time in? Well, I'm just leaving 2 hours early. Did you put your time in? Sick or vacation?
If you leave 2 hours early, if you want to leave 2 hours early, then you needed to have come in 2 hours early. That's my thing.
Well, no, I'm not doing that, because our office doesn't open until 8:30. So you coming in at 6:30 or you coming in at 7:30 doesn't do anything, because we're not even open.
Right. You can't even get there. So
right. And then I've already, the one person in particular, I changed her schedule because she was coming from Baltimore, and so I know that drive every day. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. I know that drive, and she couldn't be there at 8:00.
I don't give a shit about that, because I had a woman. This was in 2008 to 2011. I worked with this woman. We worked at the Navy Yard, and she lived north of Baltimore. And every day, we supposed to be there by 8:30. She got a kid. She chose to enroll her kid in this fancy private school. So before she could even get to work, she got to take her kid to this fancy private school, then get on the road to DC. Then so she roll in like 9:15, 9:30, and then still want to leave. But so we supposed to be there 8:30 to 4. She's supposed to be there 8 to 4, 8:30 to 4:30. She's supposed to be there 8 to 4 so that she can get on the road so she can pick up this child. So she get there late every fucking day, but want to leave right on the dot at 4:00 every day. And she wasn't doing her job well. So I was like, you got a whole thing here. Because again, if you were doing a bang up job, I probably wouldn't even, I would notice that you was coming in late, but it wouldn't be an issue because nothing was falling through the cracks. But all of your shit is wrong. All of your shit is fucked up. And you want to leave late and, get here late and leave early. I was like, I don't know how you think this is going to work. But for me, that's not going to work. And so teleworking, again, is a privilege. And if you cannot handle your shit, then I don't know what to tell you. And so when people were like, oh, well, I live north of Baltimore. Girl, you knew you lived north of Baltimore, but when you took this job and they asked where was the job? In DC? Well, you knew that then. So when you took that, you committed to getting up early to make it happen. And again, on any given day, especially coming from Baltimore, you could have traffic on 95 or 295. But if you're late every fucking day, that's because you're not getting up and leaving your house on time.
And baby, listen. So again, I said, listen, let me do this for you. I even said, she said, well, I can't get there at 8. I was like, listen, this is what we're going to do. I said, if you can't get here at 8, can you get here at 9? She's like, oh, I can be here by 9 because I know I'm watching her. She rolls.
So that means your ass gonna stay here till 5.
No, she stays until 5:30. And then the thing that gets me is she then turns around at 5:00 and be like, well, it's not busy. I'm gonna well,
no, girl, no.
It's not busy. It's not busy because we closed at 5. Yeah, it's not busy because we closed at 5. My whole point to you was when I set this up for you, I told you that you will be working from 9 until 5:30, period. So you have a 30 minutes in the office by yourself to do the work you need to get done. And I purposely stay in the office just to make sure that ass is in there until 5:30.
Right.
Listen, like I'm not like so
because you're petty, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, and so now it's like I'm the petty. I don't like petty at work because I think we're all adults and we're human. And
that's true, but the kids don't know how to act like adults.
That's the problem for me. And so now it's like, okay, well, and I've said to them time and time again, you know how we've had these conversations, especially with people that we know or like younger people. I'm not gonna say just younger people, but the fact that we've had some experiences, and it's like, well, hey, listen, let me tell you, I know what that's like. I know what it's like to do this. I know what it's like to be 20 and want to do this, that, the other. But in the long run, you try to give as much advice as you can. And I've told them. I remember being a first-year counselor. I remember all this stuff. Like I remember all the stuff I used to do and I had to do. I remember some of the stuff I slacked off on and tried to hide. I'm having these conversations with you just in casual conversation. You would think that you would have gotten a clue to understand I know what the fuck you're doing, but you're not. You haven't. So it's okay.
Listen, every stunt that you think you're gonna pull, I've already pulled.
Bitch, you're probably doing one of my stunts. So let's be clear. So don't. Right. This is not new. This is not new at all. And so now I got to come out with the whole, the write-ups and the verbal warnings and shit. And so this is kind of where I'm at. Like I don't want to play with y'all. And if y'all want to leave, that's fine too. Specifically, if it's the two people that I want to leave, baby, go with God, Crispy. Go with God, because I have other people that want to do this. That are friends. That's going to be a whole nother issue. But I have other friends that want to do this, and they understand my issues and my.
And that's another thing with friends. I'd be like, you realize you told me how you hate your job and you fuck around at your job, and then you want me to hire you? Because let's be clear, we may be friends, but when we come into the office, it is Mr. Dominion, it is Mr. Epic. I mean, I don't have anybody call me mister, but you get my point. And like, what you're not going to do is think that because we're friends, that I'm going to hold you to any less of a standard than anybody else. If that shit is due at 5 o'clock, and we will kiki, we will go to Pride, we will fuck around, we will go to IML and whatever. But between the hours of 8:30 and 5, bitch,
That's
you
what
got
we're
a
doing.
fucking job to do. And if you can't do it,
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And they are quick. And in particular, my counselors, when it's so because some of them work, the office opens at 8:30, and it closes at 5. So there are people that come in and work from 8 to 4:30, and then it's 8:30 to 5. So and that's okay. The 8 o'clock shift is for that, to make sure that the office is open, because we have to have the doors open at 8:30, which is fine. Like, I'm okay with that. But babe, when I tell you 4:30, people be like, okay, it's 4:29. I gotta go. All right, goodbye. And I'm like, bitch, wait, you was in the middle of helping a student. They're like, oh, but it's 4:30. I gotta go. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, that's where we are. Okay. Listen, it's your time to go. My schedule is actually supposed to be 8 to 4:30. But since we don't have a person in that position, I come in later because I know I'm going to have to stay later with them, because they always ask questions. And so I was like, okay, let me just readjust it. Baby, I'm going to go back to my 8 to 4:30, because I like getting off. I like getting off at 4:30, and I'll be in a meeting with everybody. Like, it's 4:30, baby. I gotta go. And that sounds petty, but no, because I work with a bunch of people that they're overachievers, in the sense that you can let this, if it didn't get finished today, you can finish it tomorrow. Especially if you're not at the deadline, you have more time to get this done. But it's okay. But our office is so fast paced that people they drop what they're doing to do something else because something else pops up. And I'm like, y'all are making this more difficult than it needs to be. Right. If it's planned out, when it's due, then you have time to work on it. That's all I want to do. And so I'm going back to my 8 to 4:30, and I'm leaving out at 4:30. These meetings
that bullshit about getting there early. Them hoes do not get there early, because I remember when I worked for the Air Force, and you got the crew that say they work 6 to 2:30, and there were a couple of times, for my own reasons, my schedule was like we needed to be there by 8, so it was like 8 to 5 with like an hour for lunch or whatever. But there were times where I was like, well, I have something to do, so I'm going to come in, and we could, come in as early as 6 o'clock. So I would have my ass up, and I'd be at the office at 6:15. Crickets.
Right.
And so here I am. It's like, oh, okay, well, the kids roll in a little later. These motherfuckers rolling in 7:45, 8 o'clock, talking about, oh, I work 6 to 2, because that ass still rolled out right at 2:30. So so here I am thinking that I need to abide by the the rules and shit. And like, what? Fuck that shit.
Yeah. So that's the petty part that's coming out, and I'm getting really irritated because like you said, ultimately it becomes my responsibility. And while my office is well aware that I'm doing 2 different jobs, but it's still ultimately my responsibility, because even if that person's in this space, it's my responsibility to make sure that they are getting this stuff done. So I'm a little irritated, and I've been on irritated for the past 48 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that this trip outside the office is outside the office, because had I stayed in the office, I would have had more shit to say about this, and it probably would have come out the wrong way. And I really came out the wrong way. So, but while I'm at the conference, I'm still working. You know why? Because I'm responsible for them. So I have shit to do for them.
Right.
Tomorrow and Friday and Monday, even though we'll probably be in the office for half a day. Monday, you know what I mean? So it's like, here we go.
Yeah, Monday. I'm not using my time to take Monday off. But I told my boss, I was like, I will be slow walking it.
Yeah,
on Monday.
And I also want to point out, the person that I report to, she lives in Virginia, but it's Arlington or Arlington, I think it is. I'm sorry. She lives in Virginia, but it's a 2-hour drive for her in and a 2-hour drive for her back every day. Every day.
These are all not my problems.
Right. No. She's my point is, she comes into the office and she's there by 8:30. So why the fuck can everybody else be here at?
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
So, and even when she is late, she's up on the phone working. She's in the car calling like, "Hey, I'm driving," and she'll call me at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" She's like, "Oh, I just want to talk to you about this before we get on the 8 o'clock meeting." And I was like, "Oh, okay, girl. Like it's 7:30 in the morning, girl. I ain't even cracked the door yet. Like I'm walking out the door now. Like, girl, what's going on?" But anyway, and so that's going to be my one of my bars to say, well, I get it. You have an hour drive and you're here and it's traffic and all that good stuff. We have other people that come a little bit further that drive 2 hours each way, but they're still here.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate you.
Again, all of this stuff. I have never really been a punch the clock kind of person, a punch the clock kind of manager. I'm
ideally, yes.
Your work done.
Yes, and that's my thing.
Work is done. I mean, you can't decide you're gonna roll in at 10 o'clock every day, but if we're supposed to be there at 8:30, you get there at 8:45, 9 o'clock. I'm not going to sweat you, and I'm not even going to be like, oh, you need to stay this extra 15 minutes or 30 minutes. If all of your shit is together, and when I ask you questions about your projects, you got the answers, and you always on time with your deliverables or whatnot, we're never going to have a problem. Yeah. But you can't be late all the time and not doing a good job. So
yeah. So it's so funny to me because like you said, I've caught people coming in the office and like if I'm running late and I had a doctor's appointment, I see them walking up the hill and I'm like, man, you're supposed to be there at 8:30. It's 8:45 and you just walking up the hill. That's what we're doing. But you be ready to leave at 4:30. Oh, okay. All right.
Right. And your work product is terrible.
That's just it. If I had to grade the majority of the people and the work that they're doing, their customer service is, for the most part, top notch. I'm going to give them a B+, A- range because they're great at their customer service. Like, talking to the people, calming them down, staying level headed. Because, you're talking about like a damn near $60,000 institution and, you're talking about money. You know what I mean? So people are calm. So I'll give them that. But balancing all the stuff they have to do,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is the one thing that's been falling through the cracks, but it's a major thing because it generates it generates all the stuff we need to do for the freshman class every single year. So this is the one thing that I really would rather you not fall behind on, but here's where we are. So
now all of these people, I mean, we need to move on, but now all of these people brand new, or have they been there for a while?
Oh no, they've been in there in 2 years or less.
Okay, so you can't say they know all of the stuff. So do you have all of their policies and stuff written down?
Sure.
I just asked a question, honey.
You talking about of the institution or are you talking about of the office?
Whatever. I mean, whatever it is they need to get done. Is there, all of the templates and examples and all that?
So that stuff they have. Like I even updated all their stuff for next year. Like, you know what I mean? Like all those things I've done. Like when I have time and I'm not dealing with their nonsense, I can maintain everything. But every day it's always I have a problem with that. And I'm like, what's the problem now? Okay, all right. What's your problem now? Okay, all right. So it's always the pivot. And it's like, okay. And I see why people stay until 6 o'clock at night every night. But whatever. But
all right, I've got a few TikToks for us to watch.
Yay! Tickety tockety, tickety tockety.
Woo! Oh, yeah, it's sharing. Okay.
Wiener's the size of a Tic Tac.
That's why your breast smells so good.
Hey, come here.
That's my boy.
Okay. And the father was like, yeah,
that's my boy.
And even the mother was like, that was hot. But then she was like, oh, I can't have my son going around talking to people like that.
Baby, that mouth.
That mouth is vicious. And listen, if that mouth is that vicious at this age, he is going to, by the time he gets to be like 15, that mouth is going to be vicious.
And baby, if you throw the Jabitiqua in there as well, baby, it is going to be a nasty tongue bath, honey.
Yes. So next up,
Renee, my girlfriend of 4 years, told the cops that my drugs were hers. She did time for me. I thought the judge would be lenient because she didn't have a record. Nope, she received 2 years in prison and lost her job. I visited her twice, but the ride to the prison was too long and I met someone else. I don't accept her prison calls, but I replied to her letters. She's getting released in August and expects to come back to her apartment. The landlord let me renew the lease in my name due to the circumstances, and I've been paying rent. But my new girlfriend is pregnant and stays with me. I told my girlfriend that Renee is unalived. And when we first hooked up, so she's been wearing Renee's clothes as well. How to fix things with my girlfriend when Renee returns. How to gently let Renee know she's been replaced and her apartment is mine. Renee is a better woman than me.
Preach,
I would have told the cops, there he is.
Exactly.
Ain't no fucking way.
preach, girl,
Ain't
preach,
no way.
preach.
You only visited her twice. You probably put nothing in her commissary. You got another pregnant woman there in her apartment, took over her apartment. Sir, she's going back to jail. And you know what? I'm A-okay with it. Because the fact that you couldn't take the fall for your own shit is crazy to me.
It's the cough for me. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, because there's just no way. You know, I love you to death, but if some shit went down, I'd be like,
That listen, and as someone that knows what that feels like, baby, don't you would you just you need me to sing la 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 la.
la
He did it.
la la la, that nigga did it.
Exactly.
I'm out.
Not
Because there's just no way that I would go to jail
No,
for
ma'am.
somebody. You know, people was like, I would do it for my child, but I don't have no biological children, so that's not even a scenario I need to contemplate. So there's no one on this earth that I would be like, yeah, I'm taking the fall for you. And then if I did,
and this is how you treat me when I come out.
first of all, what kind of trifling bitch? So Renee is the girlfriend, the one that's in jail.
Exactly.
This other woman believes that Renee is dead. So she moved into the apartment, was okay, sure, whatever, you know, if the dude tells you, you know, my girlfriend is dead. But you wearing Renee's clothes? I would not wear a dead person's clothes. That's like, you know, when my grandfather died and, you know, it was like, hey, you want some of grandpa's suits? I was like, no. Why the fuck would I want it still smelled like him. I was just like, no, there's just no way that I would wear a dead person's clothes. And for him, yeah, bruh. Cause I'm just like, I took the fall for you. You can't even call or come visit me talking about it's too far away. There's no such thing as too far away because you are out of jail. Therefore, you have the time to make this journey. Yep. And listen, because I'm assuming the key is still the same. So when she get there and put her key in the lock and see this other bitch in her house using all of her furniture, you know, probably still got pictures of her grandmother sitting on the mantle and shit, baby, I will see red. And I would call my parole officer and tell him, listen, prepare cell block D for me because I'm about to come back.
But listen, here's the thing. Can you imagine you put her key in the door and the woman stands up and got on her good shit? She'll be like, who are you and why are you wearing my clothes?
Right. Yeah, so it's just all of that is just trifling. Now, did you these next two are about the EBT awards.
Come on with it.
I didn't watch the BET Awards because I just don't care. But let's get into some of these outfits that really just piss me off. Remy then showed up in one of them plastic bags that the inmates be using when they be picking up trash during community service. Girl, where is Papoose? Lord, my good auntie Karen Hugo done showed up looking like a straight up banana and some pajamas. Karen. This ain't the worst, okay? I take this rather than all the shit that was going on. That's why y'all gonna she and boot us to death. But baby, the Boy Scout mean it wasn't at the EBT award, baby. It might have been down the hall. Okay, we was in the wrong conference room. Baby, Brooke Bailey then went down to the school and got the bag that you put all the dodgeballs in and threw it on. Goodbye. Next, we got Samurai Jack Well, okay, in my grandmother's comforter. You done tore up Granny comforter. Okay, that comforter been at Granny house for years. And you done tore it up to make some pants. It ain't the worst, so I'm gonna let you make it. We got the chaperones of the night, Ja Rule and Company. Did y'all just snatch the outfits off the mannequins before they was finished? All them strings and yarn hanging. Ja Rule, you would think after 5 Fest you wouldn't want to have no more mix-ups. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but y'all needed to go on to y'all seat. And it ain't the worst, so I'm gonna let y'all go. I don't know who this young lady is, but it's giving some more from back in the day on Comic View, and her outfit is giving some less. It's giving the piece of tissue at the end of the roll that's too short to wipe your ass, but too long to throw away. Swiss Beats look like somebody uncle at the cookout, like he finna slide a rolled up $20 bill in their nephew hand and tell them, hey, just put it in the car. Jada Kids up here looking like somebody auntie. You know what auntie I'm talking about. Y'all taking too much pride in the cheering artwork, okay, that they be making at Vacation Bible School. You're supposed to put it on the refrigerator, not on your body. I don't know what's going on, but this just pissed me off. I don't even know who this big old man is. You need to go pick up your coat and go sit down. I don't even know who this is, but she didn't piss me off because why would you put a garbage can on? Well, yeah, I'm going to the BET Awards. I want to look as stupid as possible because you definitely do. He just makes me tired. Coco, something about this dress just pissed me the fuck off. Go. You just said nah to the pasties, huh? Couldn't find them. We got another that then showed up. Ha! Scrap. No wonder he was walking around with Diamond. He needs somebody to direct the path, because baby, them eyes is shut. He just a little slow. The outfit fine. This is what you call got a last minute invitation. You just grab some up off the cutting room floor. He just look like he stank.
Yeah, and there's part 2. So,
baby, listen, I feel with Remy. I feel like Tyra. I'm rooting for you. We were rooting for you.
Right.
I love Remy. Like she is for me. She is one of the baddest female rappers out there, and her shit is so gutter. Like Miss Remy is like she is one of those girls for me. And her body's looking right. She's been home. Her stylist is working with her. It wasn't even a faux pas. This was a fuck up. That just wasn't like that wasn't doing it for me. Yeah. I feel bad. But you know what? Listen, the rest of these people, right.
Now, here we go with part 2 of the outfits that pissed me off at the EBT Awards. Somebody asked what the theme was. It was, you got $10, make it enough. Girl is giving the LSD version of Violet from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, okay? Somebody was walking around the BET Award missing a bra pad. Baby, I would have been so mad sitting next to you, you would have had to roll your ass into the car. Because, Baby, this is giving Run Me by the Hair Store real quick. I almost want to like this, but it's really giving the demon from the new episode of Black Mirror, and I ain't with it. Yeah, you big as hell. Boy, you look like Sully from Monsters Inc. cousin on his daddy's side, named Leroy. Baby, Finesse got them tentacles out. Listen, it wasn't cool when they did it, and it's a problem when you do it too. Y'all all needed to put y'all titties up. Who it is? Talking about the price went up. To what? $30? Because I know that's how much that sweater cost. I don't know who that good live. They say his boy name is Rich the Kid. Okay, he's giving Slow the Poke, okay? You look like the ink that came out the octopus on Finding Nemo. Oh, you got me ink. You got a few more months to Halloween, baby. If you wanted to go trick-or-treating, you should have went somewhere else. They say this baby name is NLE Chopper, honey, but it looked like he done chopped up the front of his shirt. This man got his belly out like he a member of TLC. Wait, I don't know what the hell gonna say about that. I just want these two to leave us alone. Okay, that's it. Baby Diamond You should have booked and been ready to fight the person that made that dress because what is that? It looked like you put the top on the bottom and the bottom on the top. I am deceased. I don't know who this is, but I'm almost 100% sure he's supposed to be at work right now. You don't look like you smell like old weed and black and mouse, y'all. Oh, okay. I don't know who this is, but I'm almost 100% sure, baby, we need to call security. I don't think he had a ticket or invite. Get him out of here. What in the cumulus cloud? Is it snacks in there? No, them people that was sitting next to you was mad as hell. Here y'all go with some more Shein boots, and baby, this outfit look like it's straight up at the men's section. It look like you found a Sherpa blanket at Five and Below and told somebody, see what you can do with that.
So to be clear, that person in all white, the first one, that was bad as shit.
It was cute.
I liked it. I liked it. I absolutely liked it. Hey, Nichelle. Wait a minute, Nichelle. Ask you one more person. Asked you about what you talking about? What's his face's outfit? With the one she said with the granny pants that the quilt that was made into pants. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna.
And the one with the chains on. I'm like, it didn't even make sense the way it was constructed.
It was so the problem for me is I saw what they were going for. It was too long. If they'd have put like if it was
right
space,
right. If it had been like a foot worth of chain or so, then it's like, okay, so you've got like the bear open, and then if you got the body and you don't have like a shirt on underneath it or something like that, or you got a shirt on that's also cut right there, and yes, that would have been cute, but that was a no. That looked like some shit that. So if you got a 10-year-old cousin that want to be a fashion designer and he get an old suit and do that, you'd be like, that is fab because you were 10 years old, you made that chain, you put it together, the shit didn't rip off, but you know that man paid at least $1,000 for that suit.
Listen, that was definitely given my first outfit.
Oil lamp.
That was giving my first outfit in a home ec class. Do they still do home ec class and nowadays? Because that's what that was given. You know, because we were a home ec, we had to make a pillow. And we also had to make a poncho, like a shirt. Baby, that was his home ec class. That's what that was. Because that outfit was just
yes. And you know, I'm all for skin and stuff being out, but you know, maybe I'm just getting old.
We
and
are.
I'm just like, girl, you know, some of these outfits, I'm just like,
why?
I mean, you could have just walked around naked for all of this,
right?
So,
Nichelle, we will talk afterwards. Nichelle used to work in the industry, and I think that this was one of the things that you used to do. This particular show, I'm not sure if you did it again, but Nichelle and I would always talk about some of the stuff, and she helped me to go see Bobby Jones a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, I remember telling that story. Yes.
Yeah, Bobby Jones.
And you know, I read some commentary about how ghetto. Well, I don't like to use the word ghetto. How tacky, the outfits were, and like a lot of these people are like influencers or reality TV stars, and people will be like, well, where are people like Beyonce? And I don't know if Rihanna was there, but people of that caliber, and they was like, girl, Beyonce is not going to come to this award show and have to sit next to TT, the internet famous bitch who sucked 12 dicks. Baby, she is not going to be on the red carpet next to that bitch.
The last BET that Beyonce attended, I think was the year that Monique did the whole dance thing.
That was 2004, so it was a little later than that.
Like I think
she hasn't been there for several years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and it's because she did come back. She did like Deja Vu and a couple other things or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if that was before. I think that was before. But anyway, it's been a long time she's been there. So
right, and with these bootleg ass stars and wannabe stars and people who are famous for doing oh Lord Jesus, there's a fire, you done some TikTok shit or something. People who Beyonce and Jay-Z bought a house in California, paid $200 million cash for it. She's not going to want to sit next to some bitch who has a dress made out of chain, who took a K&G suit, cut that shit in the middle, and put some chains on it, and wore that shit as a floor-length dress.
And here's the funny thing. The funny thing is, if you did that correctly, you could have literally crisscrossed those chains and made it look more interesting. You know what I mean? You could have gave it some depth, but it was like, I don't know who your designer was, and I don't know why y'all got into a fight like that. And you're not supposed to get into a fight with your designer and then have them to sit you out on the carpet and tell you
somebody doesn't like you. So whoever dressed you like that, they do not care for you.
Not your friend. They're not your friend. I just want to be clear. They're not your friend at all, and they lied to you. But just listen, they was petty and they made it happen. And kudos to them for making you look like an ass, because that's what you did. You look like an ass, and that's for several of y'all out there with these outfits on. But that's just my opinion. But hey, I'm out on stage, y'all. Y'all doing it, so I get it.
So I have two stories to mention. One, so this was on June 24th, so a couple of days ago. A Kentucky woman visiting Texas is accused of fatally shooting her Uber driver out of a mistaken fear that he was kidnapping her and driving to Mexico, according to local police who charged her with murder. The incident took place in El Paso on Friday. Phoebe Copas, 48, was in an Uber heading to a casino where her boyfriend planned to meet her when she allegedly saw road signs for Juarez and panicked. Copas then allegedly took a handgun from her purse and shot Daniel Piedra Garcia, 52, in the head. The vehicle crashed into a concrete barrier. Court documents obtained by local media says Copas took a photo of the scene and sent it to her boyfriend before calling 911. Piedra was rushed to a hospital with severe injuries, but his family said in an update to a GoFundMe page that he died after being taken off of life support. El Paso police arrested Copas at the scene. She was charged with aggravated assault, causing serious bodily injury, and after Piedra's death, with his murder. This investigation, according to investigators, the investigation does not support that a kidnapping took place or that Piedra was veering from Copas' destination. So basically, this white woman is, the kids always want to go and do hoe shit, but then still think that they want to do, crazy American shit. You're in fucking El Paso, Texas, just across the border. There are going to be signs that point to Mexico. And why is this bitch, these people that just travel around with guns and shit, I'm just like, bitch, you were going to a casino.
What the fuck did you need a gun for? What you gonna do to shoot out? You shooting the pots and pans and plates to win some cash? Is that what you're doing? Don't they do that at the day?
Right, throw the book at her ass. I hope they throw her ass under the jail. Fuck her.
Lord.
So that just pissed me off so bad.
Bless that baby heart.
And then, so an update on the stories about Jonathan Major. So an update from his attorney, Priya Chowdhury. Quote, from the beginning, we have said Jonathan Majors is innocent and provably the victim here. Last week, for the first time, Mr. Majors met with the NYPD to present them with evidence of what really happened. Within hours of viewing the evidence and conducting their own thorough investigation, the NYPD found probable cause to arrest Grace Jabari for assaulting Jonathan Majors. Considering this development, we extend our gratitude to the NYPD. So, as we recall, Jonathan Majors has consistently said that a drunk and hysterical Jabari was the one who allegedly attacked him in an altercation that spilled onto a street corner back in late March. He alleges that she scratched, slapped, and grabbed at his face, causing pain and bleeding, and that the next morning his face was allegedly stuck to the pillow because of the blood from the cut that Jabari gave him by digging her thumbnail into him. The claim that Majors also admitted to trying to get away from Jabari as she pulled at him during the incident. This detail was further corroborated by the driver who was transporting the couple that night and street surveillance footage. The Majors also said that in addition to assaulting him, Jabari took his iPhone, a Rolex vintage watch, and other luxury items that cost around $6,000 to $7,000 and ran up charges on the credit cards without his authorization. Credit card statements backing this claim were allegedly provided to the court last week. So all of this, in addition, so this woman talked about how she fucked her hand up and all of this other stuff, but there is evidence of her at the club after this alleged incident, partying and bullshitting and doing things with this hand that was, you know, allegedly all fucked up. So this woman's story don't hold together at all.
At all. And the thing is, the unfortunate part is, he has maintained that he didn't do this, but the ramifications of the
accusation
right, these accusations that she's made have already damaged his person. And I mean that in the Hollywood sense, because we've seen that his commercials were pulled. Some of the projects that he was on, he was pulled from to even star in them. It's funny how Disney operates or Marvel operates, because they are advertised 85,000 times for their products all day long, every day on every single channel. It doesn't even matter. When's the last time you actually sat there and watched or saw an advertisement for Ant-Man and the Quantumanium and him playing Kang, and which he did a very good job at?
But that movie tanked at the box office, so that's not necessary. I mean, it's connected, but yes, I get your point though.
But part of that was it had already the advertisement machine had already gone out, and it wasn't ramped up like Disney normally would or used to do, because they talked about how well his performance was and all these different things. But he was set to do all these other projects. They pulled his Army commercial. You know what I mean? Like, the damage has already been done. Right. And I don't know if this young man is going to be able to come back from this and be where he was or go much further at this particular point, because you had all these other people corroborate in some weird way to say, oh, you didn't know that about him? It's alleged he did this, or it's alleged he did that, or it's alleged he's this type of person. It's like,
well, you know, and all of that is like, you know, when this first came out, people was like, oh yeah, y'all didn't know about Jonathan Majors? He's been like that since he was, you know, at Yale. But I was like, ain't none of y'all said nothing all of this time though. So what are we supposed to do with that information? And if this woman's story is falling apart before her very eyes. So could he very well be exactly who these other people say they are? But, you know, when people don't speak up when they're victimized, and then they're like, well, no one believes me. And I mean, I know it's a very complicated situation because, you know, women are often not the victim when, you know, men, you know, do these sorts of things or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just like, you know, the way that everyone rushed to, you know, condemn him and take away all of his stuff. Now, I will say, if this woman's case falls completely apart, then he needs someone to Olivia Pope his ass. Get him like a really good project where he like knocks him out and puts him into Oscar contention and some shit like that, and the people will forget all about this.
But you know what's really crazy is his Quantumania. I mean, the Quantum Realm. Ant-Man movie, he was very good in that. Like, he was really giving.
He was the best part of what was, I'm told, was not a very good movie.
He really was giving a complex individual that is, you know, that was a comic book character. Like, his acting was really good. The movie was okay, but his acting was really good. And so,
right, and they're setting him up in the same way they set up Thanos.
Yes.
He was supposed to be like the star of like the next couple of movies. So,
and again, that whole Disney Marvel connection, baby, they move. Listen, I love Disney and I love Marvel. They have some great products, and they take care of their stars when you follow their rules, and you make lots and lots of money. We know that to be true with Raven Simone, because baby, I don't think if she stopped working and never did anything else from this point forward, she still has more money than most of the people in this world. But unfortunately, he's not going to be at that level with all this. And like you said, if they Olivia Pope his ass and find him a good role, then it'll work. But I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen.
Right.
Don't know. I wish it does, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
So you had a couple of stories for us.
I did. So breaking news. Did you all know that Madonna was hospitalized? Madonna 64 is delaying her upcoming tour as she recovers from a serious bacterial infection that had her hospitalized, her manager said today. The pop star had a several-day stay in the intensive care unit after she developed the infection on Saturday. And a source close to the star said today that Madonna was out of the ICU. Now, she's expected to make a full recovery, but remains under medical care as she improves. And it's unclear what Madonna's diagnosis is, or if she was still in the intensive care unit as of no. I'm sorry. That's a. I put that back in there, but she's out of the intensive care unit. Madonna was scheduled to kick off the celebration tour with guests Bob the Drag Queen in Canada on July 15th, concluding in Mexico at the end of January. The show, meant to honor her 4 decades in the music, was going to span North America and Europe, according to her website. So, listen. First of all, I didn't even know Madonna was in the hospital.
This just happened, though.
It just happened. Yeah, it just happened. It happened Saturday, but they were able to keep it quiet. But again, maybe they didn't recognize her when she went to the hospital because they didn't know who the hell she was. I don't know. But
the shade, ladies and gentlemen, shade.
I'm repeating what was said earlier by 102.7. So that's what we're going to talk about. But shout out to Bob, the drag queen, because he was on the show is going to be on the show with her.
Yes.
So listen, say what you want about Rue and the Rue girls, but if they are using their opportunities as they should, baby, listen, some of them are popping up everywhere. So I shout out to you, Bob, because you know, listen, do what you're going to do. And we know that Bob is a friend for us, because in my head, I'm sitting there laughing with Bob doing shots of something, and we just kikiing like shit. Like him and Monet, like I would love, and I'm so mad I missed the damn sibling rivalry tour, but I would love to be in a room with them two hookers and have a couple shots and maybe even have an edible too, because I know I'd be laughing hysterically the entire time.
Yes.
So, but anyway, in other news, there's a court war going on right now with Neo and his ex-girlfriend. Now, Neo's ex-girlfriend, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but Sade Bagneris has demanded primary custody of their 2 children along with immediate monthly child support. And this was reported by Radar Online. Now, according to court documents obtained by Radar, Sade and her lawyer showed up for court last week in response to Neo's lawsuit. To respond to Neo's lawsuit. As we previously reported last month, the entertainer filed a paternity and child support lawsuit against Sade. In his petition, he said they share 2 minor children named Braden, born in 2021, and Brixton, born in February 23. Neo also asked the court to order a DNA test to be done on Brixton to determine he indeed is the father. He asked that Braden's last name be legally changed to Smith, his last name. The singer asked the court to award him joint physical and legal custody of the 2 kids. He asked the court to determine how much he should pay per month in child support. Now, in her newly filed countersuit, Sade demanded primary physical custody of the 2 kids, but agreed to share joint legal custody, which would allow Neo to have a say on important matters in their children's lives. Again, as Radar Online previously reported, back in February, Neo reached a settlement with his ex, Crystal, in their divorce battle. Neo paid Crystal a $1.6 million lump sum, 1 property, and $20K to help her move. In addition, he pays her $12K per month in child support for their 3 children. She will receive an additional $3K per month in alimony for the next 3 years. The 2 agreed to share joint custody of their kids. I'm bringing her up because this young lady, Sade, is the one that he cheated on her with and had the 2 kids with. So, Mr. Smith. His name is escaping me right now. Not Neo's first name is Sheldon. Not Sheldon. Anyway,
That guy.
Yeah, messy. But I hope it turns out to everyone's benefit, especially the kids.
Yes.
In this next article, News of the Weird. So I love looking at this as well. So employees of the Taqueria Garibaldi restaurants in Northern California got an unusual and unorthodox perk during work hours. Now, USA Today reported this. The employees testified in court that a person who identified as a priest was called in to hear workers' quote unquote confessions. Now, the priest urged workers to get their sins out and asked employees if they had stolen from the employer, been late for work, and had done anything to harm their employer, if they had bad intentions towards their employer, according to a release from the U.S. Department of Labor. But the Catholic Diocese of Sacramento said it could find no connection between the alleged priest and the diocese. An investigation found that the restaurants had denied overtime pay and threatened employees with retaliation, among other sins, and the owners were ordered to pay $140,000 in damages and back wages. Baby, I have never, ever heard this shenanigans. This is a new level of shenanigans for me. And I just keep...
And, you know, it's pretty fucked up because I am going to go out on a limb and say that a lot of these people are maybe undocumented, and, you know, their faith is strong. And so this was a way to take advantage of them. And, you know, the reason it's only $140,000 is because they don't pay them girls nothing. So, well, that's always my thing. Whenever people are like, hey, we're short staffed, you know, so please, you know, be patient with us because we're short staffed. You know, what they really should say is we don't pay people enough, and people realize that if I'm going to struggle in my life, I might as well struggle doing Uber Eats or DoorDash, so I at least can make my own schedule.
And baby, let me tell you something about that Ubering and all that good shit. Baby, she's good, quick money. And I've said this before. She's great, good, quick money, because I did it for quite some time. Baby, when you hear stories about these people that getting shot like the young lady did with the Uber driver, when you hear stories about these people that find all types of shit in their car, and I know for me, I've had people eat in the back of the car and spill seafood on a summer night, and I also found a motherfucking bullet in the back of my car. Baby, I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good. So yeah, I'm good.
Well, kids, that brings us to the end of another season of the BGKH show. Yeah. We're about to go on hiatus for the next month.
Schaefer. Thank you, Nichelle. Yes, it's Schaefer. That's
his name is Schaefer Smith.
Schaefer Smith. That's his name. Yes.
I guess I'd call myself Neo too. So,
but listen, and Neo needs to always keep a hat on, because baby, you took his hat off, you don't even recognize who he is.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, he needs to keep a hat on. He needs to keep a Jimmy hat on too, because you know you are very fertile, and now you got 5 kids. You know, you got money, but you ain't got Nick Cannon money. So
listen, he's paying her $12,000. He's paying the one $12,000 per month, and get ready to get another increase of $3,000 per month in alimony over the next 3 years.
But that tells you he got more money than us. So let's just be clear. But that's telling you he doesn't have a lot of money, because remember what Nick Cannon is paying each of the mothers of his children.
His brother is paying for all 5 of these.
Right. That number is the number that you pay is based on your income. So if he had money, that $12,000 will be significantly higher.
But let me be clear. I could definitely.
I would take it. Yeah. I would make it work. If someone wanted to cut me a check for $3,000 every month for the next 3 years, just for my pain and suffering, and give me a house and give me a lump sum payment of $20,000, I would welcome it.
No, 1.6 million plus another 20 to help you with your expenses.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. I will find a way to get by on that.
I will slum it through. I will slum through. I will make it work. That's what I will do. I will make it work. So are we going to run our beautiful bean footage, or are we going to go out on a high note and just tell people see you next month?
We should always run the beautiful bean footage.
I wanted to make sure because it's one of the best parts of the show besides seeing our faces, and we're happy.
Exactly. So we'll be right back.
Run that beautiful bean footage.
Yes. Hold on a second. No, of course, everything. Come on, girls. There we go. Sort of anticlimactic now. Yes, good time. So I am looking forward to, I do enjoy this time with you all, but there are some Wednesdays where I'm just like, girl,
Right.
I just want to lay my head on this pillow and just relax, relax, relax.
It was made for two.
Yes. Thank you, Lou. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. And we hope to, I don't know that we're going to have a lot of adventures in July, but we will have some adventures when we come back because we'll be back on August the 2nd.
Yes.
And meet, the next show on August the 9th, we will be giving you a full recap of the Beyonce Renaissance World Tour.
Ooh, it's going to be amazing.
And I think I've got my outfit together. Other than the new shoes that I bought, I think I'm going to reuse existing pieces and do a little something. I think I told you I was going to wear that long sleeve fringe t-shirt, but I'm thinking I was going to do something with those
So I think if you repurpose that and add a little more bling underneath the fringe, that could give it a little bit
I was thinking if you look at it like hair and add beads to the end of each.
So you can do that, but just be careful because you want to make sure that you gather more than one strand. You want to grab
right. And then you swing your arm and then bust the kids in the face.
Not only the kid child, you be to bust your damn self, you be like, wait a minute. Oh.
Right. You Nick?
So yeah, it's gonna be definitely gonna be special, definitely gonna be unique, and definitely gonna be a time. And then we get to go, the next day we get to go, and because I have a doctor's appointment the next day.
Child, I'm just not gonna be in the office. I'm gonna tell everybody I'm going to see Beyonce on Sunday, and I'm not coming into the office on Monday. I ain't making up no excuses.
Well, unfortunately, it is a blackout time, and I had to schedule that.
Oh, right.
But yes, we will have gone to the doctors for our treatments.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so yeah, but that's what we're doing. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it, and this next month we have. Listen, I think honestly, as working, functional, reasonably responsible adults, we are always tasked with things to do. And our plates get very, very, very full. And when we get to a point where it's like, we have one thing off our plate, we're like, oh, okay, great. And it's not that you don't enjoy it, but it's just like, that's one more thing I got to do. It's just like, okay. So the fact that we don't have to worry about that, and you can probably even substitute something else in that space that was taken up this time for a short period of time, it's like you're appreciative of it, but then you get to a point where you miss it. So yeah, but
Right.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
by the end of the month, I'm gonna be like, yeah, it'll be cool to talk to the kids again.
yeah. So
And another bit of good news: the boyfriend probably won't be going to Germany.
oh really? So they figured it out, or it's just that?
I'll tell you more. There's,
All right.
I don't want to put all of his business in the street like that, but
Gotcha.
other options have presented themselves. So,
Oh yeah, we can definitely talk about that.
yeah.
But other than that, one more thing. I was able to talk to my mom, and I just wanted to share with everybody that it made me think of people that are close to me and their parents. I think I told you all that the most of the people that I'm very good friends with, I've met their family, and I'm a part of their family in a sense by just extension. And I've talked to you all about the bestie up in Baltimore. His mom was not necessarily doing great, and so he wound up having to fly and go see her. The prognosis is not necessarily clear, but it's not necessarily great. And so I am sending him love, even though I don't know if he's watching or not, but I'm sending him love. And if his mom is watching as well, I'm sending her a great big hug and a kiss. So please be well. And yeah, that's what I want. What is that?
That's in your house. That's not on my side.
No, that's not on my side.
I swear to you, that came through the speaker to me.
Nothing is going on over here, but okay. And the other piece of that is we have people around us and we're in people's lives for a reason. And so I had a good conversation with someone, actually two different people just this week, one earlier this week and also one today. And I want to remind people to please check in on your loved ones. Make sure that they are doing well. They may be here and they may be smiling and laughing in your face and joking, and you not necessarily know exactly what's going on with them. So I'm sending out love to all those that are in that particular position, and to that one particular person. I'm sending you love because I do love you, and I want to make sure that you're okay. So I hope that you are able to get to a better place with your mental health and how you feel.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Amen to that.
So, I used to say this all the time in our Onyx meetings: check on your friends, check on your families, check on your loved ones, because again, you want to make sure they're okay. And it's really interesting because while we will not be doing the show, we're going to be always talking and we're going to be around each other. And the interesting thing for me is, and I don't know about you, Dominion, this is something that I've noticed since we've been doing the show, we hang out. We do hang out. So let me be clear.
Right.
But I laugh because before we did the show a lot, we got to save some of that energy for the show. So it's kind of like, let's hold it for the show. So it's like,
right.
So,
but now there's just so much energy. There's no need to hold it for the show.
Right. So just kind of looking forward to doing some other stuff. So we have a couple things that we're gonna probably do over the next month or so. So, and that's just because we ain't got nothing else to do, and that's just what we're gonna do. So
right.
But anyway, I've done my PSAs and public service announcements and shared all my love, and I want to tell you guys, we definitely, I appreciate you guys. I know that we say that all the time, but I just want to specifically say that I do appreciate you spending time with us. And we will I try to make my best effort to be there, because I never realized how much of an impact people have in people's lives. And I was reminded because of those conversations that, just by being here, just by doing the show is making an impact in someone else's life. So,
right.
It's a big pill to swallow, but then it's also, you feel honored. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm just sending out love to everybody, telling everybody to take care of themselves and be loved and love on everybody. Because that's what I'm going to do, because I'm around y'all, whether I can't stand you or not, I'm going to love on you. Well, for the most part.
Generally.
generally speaking. So, but that's my PSA for the night. Hey, Bougie.
Now I'm trying to. Are you still there?
I'm here. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back. I was, trying to multitask, and then now my screen won't let me get back the way I need to go.
Okay.
Hold on. Bam.
So when we come back, I'll have a couple of adventures because Clark and I we gonna hit the road for the summer. We gonna do a couple trips, and so I have her I have her accessories already planned out, and so I have a couple. So don't be surprised if you all see me with this random book bag, and don't be surprised if my child is not with me because she will be with me with my book bag. I'm gonna take her out just to get her some good time air and let her come over and see all the extra extended family. She'll be over at Uncle Dominion's house. She'll go see Auntie all the aunties.
Yeah, but Uncle Dominion and Auntie Kendra are allergic to pets. So
no. They will be in their case, but you can see.
Okay.
So that's why I said, we're like, oh, we're like,
You're like, oh, this is lovely. Okay, she can go now.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. I'll touch her head nicely, and then with the gloves.
Don't you touch it because if y'all allergic, I don't want to hear
You're not
that.
that allergic, but I mean, I just don't be like touch, and then like.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll be good. Yeah. But anyway, kids, it's been fabulous, and we will see you all in a month.
Yes, indeedy.
So thank you all for coming out. God bless you, and good night. Bye.